Welcome back to Fallingfoxgaming, everybody. I am your host Blaine, and today we're picking up with some more Stellaris. We are continuing our Devouring Swarm playthrough here for a little bit, and before we begin, I just want to make a few notes that we did finish building this system out, and our current goals are to have this science ship explore and survey this system, and then this construction ship follow up behind it, hopefully securing that location. Now, I want to kind of explain our setup to everybody because it's kind of important. We are in a very unique start, in my opinion. We have been left completely alone, which very rarely happens. And on top of that, the one location that's kind of vulnerable, our north side, there's a fallen empire, so no one can come at us from that direction. So we have essentially a free pass to ignore any and all dangers from this territory for now. That doesn't happen too often, so we have to only focus our attention with our military and stuff down south. Now we're going to take this station down here and we're going to upgrade it because that is going to become a choke point. Well, I can't do it now because I don't have the resources for it, but we will shortly. The big thing is that we have it blockading anybody coming in because we have close borders with anyone that, we meet basically. So if you look at the overall galaxy, we cover, about a sixth of it, seventh of it, maybe something like that, a fraction of it that's pretty decent, and we currently have no other contacts. I'm expecting to run into somebody right here. I do not think we'll get past this area without meeting somebody, and same if we explored over here. So we're just going to kind of continue on, and I'm going to avoid actually upgrading my military this time because we actually need the resources that we have, the alloys. We are starting to run low, and we need it for building new star bases. And when it comes to your perks, I like to do discovery and then expansion first. I do pretty much all of it unless I have a really aggressive neighbor where I might need something else. It's almost always beneficial just to knock these two out right away, and then go interstellar dominion and then technological ascendancy. This is pretty much my go-to start off, and if we do a full series I'll probably do something similar to that depending on what our start off looks like. So this is tricky now. So apparently there's nothing over here. I honestly expected to run into something immediately right here, but no, there's nothing. Our construction ship is almost done building this space starbase. Actually, we'll just let it go through here, and we're gonna go capture this one, I guess. This is just the strangest thing. Like how empty the galaxy is right now. Like, I'm pretty sure when we made this place, there are plenty of AI. So I'm not really sure why it's so empty out there. In any case, this gives us a chance to talk about a couple of things. So normally, I suppose I need to decide where the science ship is going to go. Oh my god, I don't even know where to go. I could go to the left. Yeah, we'll just go to the left first because we're going to be kind of heading to the right anyways, so why not? I tend to skip a lot of the early anomalies, like the very, very early on ones, primarily because exploring is more important. You do want to scoop up those anomalies as soon as you can, or if you're in a spot where you're blocked in and you really have nothing else to do. So while we're in a situation where we have a lot of kind of free space to work with, we're going to send our extra science ship to start collecting these anomalies that I was just mentioning. The anomalies are good to ignore for your initial science ships or the ones that are first exploring because it's just going to slow them down unnecessarily. They will expand and survey soon enough, so there's no reason why you can't just ignore them immediately. The bonuses you can get from the anomalies can be worth it if you're boxed in, but I've found that if you're just exploring in the first place, it's not. Right now we're self-sustainable, and that's good. That's where we want to be. The most recent perk I chose was to unlock supremacy because we haven't started building our military yet, and we're going to soon. So I'm going to focus on supremacy over the next couple of perks before we need to build military. I've seen a lot of people wait and they start building up their military and then they wait for this unity tree to kind of pop in, the perk tree, and I like to try and get to the supremacy tree before you start building because being able to reduce the cost and build and increase the build speed is huge. Same with the upkeep reduction. That makes a big difference when it comes to the actual production and upkeep of ships. Right, and here we are, our very first galactic transmission of someone that is likely similar to ours. So up on the western side here, we have the block of Curious. Let's see who they are. They are hegemonic imperialists. So we have egalitarian, xenophobe, militaristic. Of course they are. Xenophobic militaristic is like the worst thing you can get because I would just want to pick a fight with you for no reason. Alright, so we can't actually use diplomacy with them. That's one of the downsides of a devouring swarm. But it's good to know that they exist up there. And here we are. That is their space. So, as you can see, they too look like they may be blocked in up here. I don't know how much they've explored up here. Well, they should still be able to head up around here. So there's a good chance that they are going to try and expand down south here, which is perfectly... Ooh, they have an L gate right there. Interesting. Well, I'm not too worried about them. I'm going to just fortify this side now, right here. I may choose one of these other stars to actually put our star fortress, or our star base, whatever you want to call it. But I'm glad that we've now seen the extent of where they lie. We're going to have our ship move down this way and then survey over there, because they're likely going to close borders with us because we have closed borders with them. Yeah, we can't do anything at all because we're Devouring Swarm. Terrible relations. Because we're Devouring Swarm, they have negative 1,000 relation with us, which means essentially we just can never, ever talk to people. Which is fine. That's not what we're about. We're about having fun, aren't we? So we're not going to build any more up here. We're going to go ahead and let them take whatever, because we only have the 1 point here, and I'd rather have only 1 point of contention if something comes up, and I'd rather not lose territory if we can avoid it in a war. So we're going to go ahead and just head back down this way with our people and start collecting these systems properly. Now, on first glance, if you look, they look like they have better stuff than us. Like, their empire looks a lot nicer than ours. I hate how our system looks. In fact, our system looks really creepy. If you really think about it, there's like eyes, a creepy mouth, and like a wiggly body, like a snail. We're Space Snail Empire. Gross. But anyways, we can actually upgrade our primary building now, which is exactly what we want to do, and that is going to be a priority because that increases kind of everything overall. So now that we have figured out who our people on the left are, our goals are going to be to fortify this system right here. Now, I cannot upgrade this. I guess we can discuss the market now. So now that I have, gathered up more than 5,000 minerals, it's kind of worth selling for the money. I do not do sales if it's within these top 3 categories because your ratio is kind of garbage. It's still garbage down here, but it's a little bit more in your favor. Well, normally it is. Actually, looking at this, it does not look like it's in your favor. No, it's not. Because if you times that by 5, you'd get more money than that. So we're actually going to do that. There we go. We'll start with that. Oh, it's because every time you buy, yeah, that's why you do it. Because every time you click on it, the amount goes up, like down, so you actually gain less each time. So eventually you balance out. But that's okay. I'm just going to buy 2 into it, and then we actually want alloys. We can't get enough to buy this level, which is 9,000 credits, so we'll stick with this one. So 250 extra alloys, and we're going to do that twice actually, because we still have a profit of credits, and that's fine right now. Now that we know what's right there, we're actually going to turn this into our upgraded starport. That way this is the choke point for both these empires here. And that's how you usually want to do it. You want to set up choke points not at the edge of your empire. You want to set it up where you have the strongest holding. Because if war comes down to it, you want your star base to hold if possible. And in early games, holding like choke points with star bases is entirely doable. Star bases are quite powerful in the early game, so make use of it. So once our hive is upgraded, we're actually just going to build another research base on our capital, because that is what I like doing. I turn the capital into a giant research hub. As you can see, we have 243 research per turn, or per month, whatever, and that's actually probably pretty high compared to most of the people around us. Now that our second planet actually got another building slot, the second thing I like to place down is the spawning pools. for a hive mind, a devouring swarm, you can actually increase your population production or growth speed by 25%. Makes a huge deal in growing your population, and in the early game that's very, very important. And our star base just finished upgrading. Perfect. So now that we're this far away, what we're going to build down here is the first thing we're going to build is a shipyard, and then down in the second slot here we're going to do a crew gas station chambers, which allows your ships to dock there and have their upkeep reduced by 25%. And then the second module, I'm going to do a gun battery. Now those can be adjusted depending on what your actual needs are for your empire, but our empire is quite spread out, so we want to have extra stuff down here. Alright, and it looks like we may have just discovered our eastern neighbors. So I actually had to travel all the way up here, surveying systems, before I run into someone. Once I got here, it seems like we have these guys. I'll zoom in here. Oh, wrong button. These guys, they are hanging out here. I can't remember which vehicle that is exactly, but we are allowed to investigate them now. So if we do our situation, we can actually click on here and in 4 months figure out who they are. And I'm going to do that because if you discover who they are first, you get a little bit of bonus influence, and I want influence. At the same time, we have our science ship heading back down here. We're ignoring finishing that up. I should have probably just ignored that and started scouting out these areas. Oh, here we go. But I wanted to know what was right there at least a little bit, so we got that. And then we have our construction ship over here who's going to keep expanding down here to probably capture at the very least this station right here, but we'll see. And it sounds like we figured out who they are, so we gained 40 influence. We got another hive mind. Heck yeah. Awesome. I love other hive minds. So we sense prey. So once again, we still can't really talk to them or anything. Wormhole. Where's that at? And we're discovering everything all at once. Oh, I don't care. That's way over in their territory. Their territory is way over there. Oh, I mean, I guess really. That's only a couple jumps. Well, more than a couple jumps, but you know, relatively speaking, that's not that far away. We're going to keep, well, they can't do anything right now. Yeah, we're going to keep expanding. So if they're right there, our neighbors are right there, what we're going to do now is I'm imagining there has to be someone right here, but I don't actually know. Let's see if these guys will talk to us. They only have one planet. That's interesting. So yeah, they hate us too because, again, we're devouring swarm, so unfortunately we cannot talk to them. Now, if it was normal hive mind, or normal hive mind, and I was a normal hive mind, that would have been like the best thing ever because hive minds are good friends. And I feel like this is kind of a good note to go out on for today. Our special project research is fully completed, and the people that were investigating the ceramic box that we found that kind of couldn't be destroyed and was too close to the sun, and no one could figure out how it got there, well, our people kind of went crazy trying to figure it out. But on the completion, we gain 150 influence, which is amazing. So we'll take that. And let's talk about where we're at. So we didn't do a ton today. We kind of just explored a little bit, as I was mentioning before. Stellaris is kind of a slow game, grand strategy, so slow was kind of in the cards. But we figured out a lot. So first of all, we should, without any problem, be able to collect as far over here as we really want. I'm probably going to stop here with the science area, or maybe here with the anomaly and the energy credits, but we'll see. I don't expect I'll go past right here. Also, we have our science ship coming down here to explore down here because I feel like there has to be someone down here. I don't actually know if there is or not, but I feel like there is. So both of our science ships down here are going to be working that general direction. As for the science ship up here, that is now done with what they were doing, I'm going to have them finish up collecting all the anomalies up here, and then we're going to go ahead and start assisting research on our home world to increase our research further. That's kind of all we're going to do. So I'm going to actually progress some time. Right now it's the year 2222, and I'm going to just kind of play a little bit on my own and just advance, because I'm going to do one more video of this for sure, and then maybe two, depending on what happens. So the next time we actually start up this particular series or this game, I'm going to be a little bit further on. I will most likely have all of this territory, and I'll probably be preparing for war against most likely one of these two factions. I want to show you guys how kind of war works with the Devouring Swarm as opposed to a normal faction, and I kind of want to show you guys what war is like in this game in general, for those of you that aren't familiar with it. So I know that once again it was another kind of boring episode with just exploring and reading and whatnot, and that's kind of what this game is. It's a pretty slow paced game, but if we do a full series on it, I can make it a lot more interesting by talking about other stuff that's in the game to keep things interesting. And again, normally you don't have this kind of space. I'm going to go back and look at my settings. I feel like I had to screw something up, because I feel like with there only being 3 empires so far that I've seen, that's way less than I planned. So I'm going to try and figure that out and let you guys know what happened there. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for those of you that have subscribed. If you have not subscribed, please do so, and I'll see you guys next time.